Hello, this is State Senator Mark Pody out of Tennessee. I am so proud of the Focus on America group that is taking action to address what's going on. Rebecca, thank you so very much for your leadership. It's been always an honor every time that you and I've talked, and your patriotism. In perspective, for over 240 years, the bedrock principle of this nation has been that we transfer power in a peaceful way. We believed in free and fair elections. Even when one side would lose the election, they always had confidence that the election was done in a proper manner, that we could count on the election results. This is what has made us different as a nation for over the 240 years. We have actually watched other nations, public governments, that will have scam elections. They don't have fair elections. They know who's going to win ahead of time, and we've sent down monitors from our nation to try and help make sure that they're free and fair elections. When we'd watch them and we'd watch the news and we'd see who would win, we would actually smile to ourselves, knowing that that would never happen here in America, that we had something we could count on. We've been the light of the world because of that. People would come all over the world to come to America because this is a nation that listens, where people had a voice. It is run by and for the people, and the people decide who it is that they want to have govern them. Until now, this is the first time that we have serious questions about who is actually in our government. Were they elected in free and fair elections? Were they secure? And it seems that if we don't do a full forensic audit where we can count every single vote in a way that it wasn't just put in a machine, that we had some sort of paper trail that we can look and analyze to make sure that every single vote counted that was supposed to count, that illegal votes did not count, double votes did not count. We have always been in a position where we knew what was going to happen and we could have these elections fairly. Now that we're in this position where it seems that there's evidence that they won't hear, and it's not that the evidence isn't there, it is our court systems at this point haven't actually heard them, and they've thrown them out because of sometimes lack of standing, sometimes lack of a deadline, whatever the reasons being. It hasn't always been because the data and the facts haven't been proven, at least to a point where there's a significant number of people, patriots and citizens, that have doubts in our election. And we have to move forward. What is going to happen in the next couple of weeks matters. It matters on who's going to win the primary. It's going to matter who wins the midterms this year. If our elections are already rigged, that we won't be able to have our votes counted in a fair and free and secure way, it's going to cast even more doubt on the government that's running our country right now. You filing these lawsuits, everybody here taking part of programs and times that we can say enough is enough, and we're giving up our time and our resources to say we're going to combine with others to make sure that we can have our elections audited. Here in Tennessee, we want to make sure that we can get paper ballots, that we can have a way that we can count every single ballot, not just one that's been read in the computer and go to ask that computer to just spit out the same number that already had. We want to be able to count the ballot. If it's been voted, we want to count that one by one, and that's the only way we have confidence that it's going to be a secure election. I believe that some of the machines have been tainted. We've even overturned some of the elections here on the local level in Tennessee. We have confidence here in Tennessee that the vast majority of our elections are free, that they are fair, and we know that our election commissioners are doing a great job. However, if there's doubt in any part of the state, it's a concern to the entire state. If there's a doubt in any part of the country, it's a concern to the entire country. And that's why this lawsuit and the programs that you're doing right now are so important. Let's talk about some action plans that we would hope that you could do right now. First, if you're here listening, get behind this lawsuit. Help them. They're going to need some help financially. They're going to need some help vocally. They need people to stand up and say, yes, these are things that are a concern to us, and we want to see it go forward. Second, get involved into the poll watching. It's not enough just to vote. You have to get involved in making sure that these are free and fair elections. If you're a poll watcher, if you're an election administrator, if you're an election commissioner, get involved and make sure that what's going on is right. It's not enough that we just can say we just trust what somebody else is telling us. We trust those that hired these machines. We trust those that built these machines. I don't. I believe that we need to have this paper ballot that we can follow. And if we have an audit, we can audit them paper by paper all the way through. You know, I know it's going to be a little extra cost, but for 240 plus years, the cost of freedom has never been too high. And just because it might take a few extra dollars to make sure we have free and fair elections, it is well worth it. Just because it might take us a few extra hours to count these on election night, to know that we have confidence in how it's being done and the results that are being given to us are accurate and fair, it's worth it. You know, we love to say that we live in a generation where everything's instant. You go in and get fast food, you get everything fast. But when it comes to making the principles of honest, free, fair, and secure elections, whatever the time it takes to do it is going to be worth it for our children and our grandchildren. If we don't have these, if we don't hold everybody accountable right now through the court system, we are going to be turning into a puppet country just like around the world. This is worth fighting for. This is worth investing in. Rebecca, I want to call you out again and tell you thank you so very much for your time. I know you've traveled all around at your expense. You've come up here to Tennessee. You've met with others. You came to our events that we've had up here. And I want to tell you that you've been well received. Your message is clear. We have to take action. This isn't enough just to say, oh, well, maybe it'll be better next time. Because if we don't take action, it won't be better. It will only be worse. My name's State Senator Mark Pody. I'm here in Tennessee, and I want to tell you that we want to do everything we can to make sure we're supporting you and that we're watching our state as well. Thank you all, patriots. You all have a blessed day.